Welcome back to the Banganator podcast, brought to you by your host, Esley Banga, Season 2, Episode 14. And unfortunately, the Cowboys, they lost a tough one to the Miami Dolphins. I told y'all it was going to be a 50-50 game, and unfortunately, we were on the wrong side of 50-50. I got my buddy here with me, Joel. Hey, how you doing?
Man, I'm chilling.
All right.
I'm happy. You already know why. You know what time it is.
Yeah.
You know, I knew I was going to see you today, so I got to,
Yeah.
represent, bro.
Yeah.
I couldn't hold it in. I didn't want to go overboard, but,
Yeah. I can't
act like you Cowboys fans are.
Feel free to go overboard. I don't care. We get hype
look,
on this show.
I'm just going to give it to you, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, you already know. I'm going to let you
Yeah.
know that I feel like this is the year for Miami to definitely do something, especially coming out of their division, which is questionably weak,
Yeah.
But, like I was telling you, I feel like the Dolphins and the Cowboys definitely have some similarities we got to talk about.
Yeah, of course. First of all, you from Miami, and you're Cuban. So tell me how you became a Miami Dolphins fan.
Ooh, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, right? Growing up in Miami, you already know it's like the Cowboys got their glory days in the 90s. I mean, we got our Dan Marino perfect season back to back, you know?
80s.
So, I mean, I can't really say that growing up I was a Dolphins fan because I wasn't. I'm not going to lie to you at all.
Okay.
If anything, I didn't really get into sports till like maybe the last 10 years.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, what is it that clicked for you that like really got you into sports, into the Miami Heat, into the Miami
if
Dolphins?
I'm being completely honest with you, I mean, it was just the gambling.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I told you I dipped and dabbled in that for a while.
Yeah.
So once you're it's like a high risk stakes poker game. You gambling.
Yeah.
But I didn't really look at it like that. It was more like survival. Like I was
feel you.
surviving off.
I feel you.
Making these picks.
Yeah.
I would hit the library.
Yeah.
I would read the paper. I would analyze it like the stock market.
Yeah.
Because it was like a job. It wasn't like you're just gambling just to gamble and have fun.
No, that was real life for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's how you take things.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this game, man. So just a quick recap of the game. The Cowboys scored first with a touchdown from C.D. Lamb, 49-yard touchdown. Then after the Dolphins had some field goals and a Raheem Mostert touchdown at a goal line, they took the lead. And then they traded more and more field goals, both the Cowboys and the Dolphins. The Cowboys finally went up 20-19 after a Brandon Cooks touchdown. Not only did we take too long to score, but we left too much time on the clock for the Dolphins. Jason Sanders hit the game-winning field goal. That's how they ended. The Cowboys ended up losing 22-20 to the Miami Dolphins. Man, what'd you think of that game? Before I get into the other stats, what'd you think of the game?
I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I was watching it, with my girl at home chilling, and she's a diehard Cowboys fan. So I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
She's a Cowboys fan.
She's a Cowboys fan, so you already know how y'all are, man. Especially on the holiday games, Christmas Eve. But I really feel like, I respect the Cowboys. Any way you look at it, you know what I'm saying. If you saying anything different, you just hate, and I understand that. I'm not just saying because I live here now.
Okay, yeah.
You understand? Obviously,
yeah.
I'm a diehard Dolphins fan.
Yeah.
So you can't take that away from me, but still you can't ignore the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Now getting back on topic, I really feel like the defense was there. But like offensively, they just couldn't get it going. It's just, and plus like everybody's saying, man, they can't win on the road.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to win some key road games to get into the playoffs to go anywhere.
Unfortunately, the Cowboys couldn't do it. I
mean, and I was worried too. I told you, I texted you, I was like, bro, I was worried. I was like, at the end, I'm like, oh. But then I'm not gonna lie, this is why I was calm. I was like, I seen how much time they left on the clock.
Yeah.
And you can't leave two of that much time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Say what you want to say about the Dolphins.
Tyreek, Jalen Waddle. Yeah, that's too much time.
I mean, it was over 3 minutes, like almost 3.5 minutes. That's too much time.
Yeah.
That's like leaving AR with that much time in that, that infamous game where.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm talking about. I want to bring it up.
2016 playoffs. Yup, I remember.
Man. And I had bet, against the Cowboys game.
Yeah.
Just out of sheer hate.
Damn,
but hey,
bro. I was thinking the same thing with you about like winning the games on the road because like the Cowboys, since they didn't win enough games now, and they didn't take advantage of the Eagles losing also.
Oh,
so now that
they were riding that
exactly,
little 3-game winning streak.
If the Cowboys had won against the Bills and against Miami, okay, we would have been number one automatically in the East, and then we would have hosted at least 1 or 2 games. Now all of our games are going to be on the road in the playoffs, and I don't care what you say. I'm not a homer bias fan. We're not winning 3 straight games, road games, to get to the Super Bowl. That's not going to happen. Unfortunately, the Cowboys, they did themselves in when it comes to that. It's kind of crazy how both teams they were struggling offensively. Whenever both teams this season, for the most part, have been putting up numbers, like scoring points.
It was like the first couple of weeks, Miami was putting up like 500 yards of offense.
Yeah, and then remember the 70-20 game against the Broncos? Oh, my gosh. And then the Cowboys, like they scored like 40 points 5 times this season.
Oh, yeah, blowing teams out. But like I told you, it's like Miami playing sorry teams, though.
Yeah.
And I'll say it about my team, too. I'm not biased, you know.
Exactly,
just because I love the Dolphins. Like, they got some areas they got to definitely improve on. I mean, I feel like the defense is definitely going to be, clicking, because they got, what's his face? Jalen Ramsey, back. So it's like, that should be a vital piece for them.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot of interceptions.
Yeah, so I mean that'll help them. I'm pretty sure that's got to be something definitely motivating that defense, but that offense has to turn on all the time too.
They do.
Because they can't just be like, oh, we got all this talent, Tyreek Hill and Waddle and Tua. Everybody's like, oh, but you can't ease up.
Exactly. Just to give this game a little bit of context, Dak Prescott went 20-32, 253 yards. 2 touchdowns. Tony Pollard had 38 yards. He was our leading rusher. Unfortunately, that's not enough. CeeDee Lamb, he went off 118 yards, 1 touchdown. Brandon Cooks, 1 touchdown. The Cowboys' last touchdown at the end there. Jake Ferguson, 45 yards. On the defensive side, we did have 1 sack, 1 shared sack by Micah Parsons and Dorrance Armstrong. For the Dolphins, Tua went 24-37, 293 yards, 1 touchdown. Raheem Mostert had 46 yards, 1 touchdown, a receiving touchdown at the goal line. Tyreek Hill, 99 yards, which even though he didn't get in the end zone, that's still good. But usually you like to see Tyreek get more. Jalen Waddle had 50 yards, and the Dolphins defense had 4 sacks. What do you think about those stats right there?
I mean, it's like it's always I feel. I'm not going to say disappointed because, like I told you, my girl was there. She was all saying, oh, you guys only won by 2 points, this, that, and the third. But it's like a win is a win, bro.
That's true. In the NFL,
a win is a win. But, they got to tighten up.
Yeah,
because I'm expecting more out of Tyreek Hill. I'm expecting more out of Waddle.
Exactly.
Monster out. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And what happened to that 500 yards of offense? Number 1 offense, in the league.
Yeah.
When it comes to yardage, so
exactly,
where's that at? But like I said, you can't, coming in where we had the same record, Cowboys, Dolphins.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're talking about two teams that you could say on paper evenly matched.
Yeah.
But like I told you, I just think they got the same problem.
Yeah, they did. For us, it was winning on the road. For y'all, it was winning against a team above 500, and. Yeah, kudos. Y'all finally did it.
Did it. You got jokes. All right, I'm not going to get on your Cowboys because y'all beat a lot of bums.
We did.
But I mean, like I told you, though, that Eagles win definitely, lit a fire up under them.
The 49ers loss really, to me, is the game that lit up a fire under them. Because after that, they went on a tear against bad teams and good teams. Just a few key points I want to take away from this game. The Cowboys are still 2 different teams, home and away, and which is unacceptable. You can't have that much of a gap of who you are home, where you blowing teams out, and then away, where you struggle to score. And the Cowboys' road performance, to me, is the reason why I think they're going to lose in the playoffs. Miami finally beat a team, with the winning record. Get ready for this. Tyreek Hill will not break the single-season receiving record with 350 something yards left to go. So I don't think he's going to do it in 2 games, which is a shame because he really I felt like he could have done it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got a bright future ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, he's a great player.
Mm-hmm.
I loved him when he was playing, with the Chiefs,
Yeah.
which, of course, I don't like.
Yeah.
But, for other reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, you know what? I just was not expecting it to be such a close game.
Oh, really?
I really felt like, I thought we were going to blow y'all out.
Really?
No, I'm lying.
Okay.
No, you know what? Like they put up a good fight. I mean, your boy CeeDee Lamb went off, but like you said, it wasn't enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just so surprising, because they were on that streak, and you would have thought, man. But we'll see what happens. I mean, like I said, they got the the Lions next.
Yeah.
And that's no easy feat.
Yeah. Hey, you just helped me out because speaking of the Lions. The Cowboys host the Lions. That's a home game. It is Saturday night. Cowboys are 10-5 right now. The Lions are 11-4. They're 1 game better than us. Obviously, they got some playmakers like running back David Montgomery. He got 910 yards on the season, 11 touchdowns, which is better than Tony Pollard. Wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown. 1,281 yards, 8 touchdowns, and Jared Goff can be hit or miss. Sometimes he can play great and he be throwing touchdowns and making accurate passes. There are other times where he just looks like just a guy, just not accurate, throwing picks, turning the ball over. So, how do you think the Cowboys will do against the Lions at home?
I think it's going to be a dogfight.
Mm-hmm.
I think Detroit's definitely got a full head of steam.
Yeah.
They're on a good streak.
Yeah.
I felt like they're definitely one of the sleeper stories coming out of the NFL right now because,
True.
I mean, nobody really expected them to be there, and playing as good as they are.
True.
So it's definitely going to be it's going to be a tall mountain for them to climb.
Yeah, true. I think it's going to resemble the Cowboys versus Seahawks game. Where and I was at that game too. The Lions record suggests that they're a better team than the Cowboys. So it's going to be, like you said, I think it's going to be a dogfight. I do believe that the Cowboys will win simply because they are at home. They're undefeated at home right now, and they, for whatever reason, they just turn it on and play great at home. So I think that they're going to trade some blows, and Cowboys are going to come back on top. But I do think it's going to be tough to win against them because they some dogs right now. And then your Dolphins played the Ravens, who just beat the 49ers. And everybody was talking about the 49ers, obviously. They were blowing out teams. Debo was going off. And the Ravens, they shut them down pretty much. Brock Purdy threw 4 picks against the Ravens. So y'all playing a tough Ravens defense. What's his name? Marlon Humphrey. Obviously, Lamar Jackson, you got to watch out for his playmaking skills. You got their tight end, Isaiah Likely, who's come onto the scene. How do you think the Dolphins is going to fare against them? One more stat. The Dolphins are 11-4 now after beating the Cowboys. The Ravens are 12-3. Who do you think wins?
I mean, you already know. They're going to be favoring the Ravens.
Yeah.
Your boy Lamar Jackson, his whole mob.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's fine. The odds were stacked against us playing you guys, too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nobody was, oh, yeah, there's no way they're going to lose to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Any given Sunday, anything can happen. I feel like the Ravens and the Dolphins definitely match up well.
Mm-hmm.
But, like I said, if like you said, if Lamar Jackson's playmaking abilities take over and he starts to take over that game, and the league gets away from the Dolphins, it might be lights out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
So
bro.
you got to look at both.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, we'll see if that defense will be able to hold them down.
Yeah. Who do you think wins?
I think Miami.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to say Miami.
Okay.
Because I feel like they definitely got something to prove. They've been playing a bunch of lackluster teams. I mean, the Cowboys win is definitely a big, put a big chip on their shoulder, bro. But still, they still have mountains to climb. You know, I honestly, I didn't like the fact that they couldn't beat Buffalo. That really bothered me. That loss still,
I feel you.
It left a bad taste in my mouth, bro.
I feel you. Yeah.
You know, and it's like, you know, then watching what Buffalo has done this season, you know, I'm like, come on.
Especially towards in December. Yeah, because now it's a AFC East race now between the Bills and the Dolphins.
Yeah, because
the Dolphins keep it.
I want to believe that we could beat teams like Kansas City, which I felt like we should have won that game, you know, because of that fumble.
Y'all might be able to. Like if y'all face each other in the playoffs, y'all might be able to, because Kansas City, they looking real ass right now. I think the Ravens will win. I'm going to take the Ravens.
The Ravens?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens. Just what they were able to do against the 49ers, and it seems like Lamar Jackson has taken a hold of the MVP conversation, literally just because everybody else has fallen off, you know, but just the plays that he's been making, their defense is playing lights out. So I think it's going to be a closer game. It's not going to be like 49ers versus Ravens. It's going to be closer, but I feel like the Ravens going to edge out and take the Dolphins.
So who else do you think is an MVP? I mean, you make it seem like he's got it sold up. Lamar Jackson.
There's still 2 weeks left, but only because Dak Prescott, he fell off with his performance the past 2 weeks. Brock Purdy, 4 interceptions. Yeah, bro, you just lost the MVP lead. Tyreek Hill, you know, I would have given it to Tyreek Hill if he broke the record, but you know, he is kind of falling off a little bit. Not fall off, but you know, just not at an MVP pace no more.
I don't really feel like, and at times with that not that the right people aren't picked, but I see like they overlook a lot of other players.
They do.
You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, you and I both know there's other players on other teams that are still making moves and can still be in that conversation, and you don't even hear their names.
Like, to be honest, Christian McCaffrey, he should be in the running.
I mean,
he should be in the running because he I think
definitely
he got more touchdowns than Brock Purdy, I think. But yeah, Cowboys play the Lions in Week 17, and Dolphins play the Ravens in Week 17. So we'll see how those games are going to shape up.
This episode of the Banganator podcast was recorded in MZ Studios. MZ Studios is a premier podcast studio located in the Ritchie Group Tower in Dallas, offering full-service audio and video podcast production. Book with MZ Studios today.
It's time for the Banganator's top banging moments from Week 16 in the NFL. At number 4, I got Ezekiel Elliott's hurdle and touchdown. Bailey Zappi threw a screen pass to Ezekiel Elliott in the red zone. Zeke hurdled the defender at the 5-yard line and then dove into the end zone. And it makes you wonder, should the Cowboys have gotten rid of Zeke so soon? At number 3, I got Lamar Jackson's MVP moment. This dude evaded a sack in the pocket, ran through and around 49ers players up until the 10-yard line. He was looking like old school Michael Vick on the Falcons. And to me, that moment right there, and the fact that they got the win over the 49ers, made him the MVP frontrunner. At number 2, Bryce Young versus the Panthers. 312 yards, 2 touchdowns. He went toe-to-toe with Jordan Love and the Packers. And even though Panthers lost 33-30, that's something special. So keep it up, Bryce Young. And at number 1, give me Amari Cooper versus the Texans. 265 yards, 2 touchdowns off of 11 receptions. That is something special. At one point, he had 3 receptions for 150 yards. Joe Flacco, his quarterback right now, making him look nice. The Browns beat the Texans 36-22. So, those are my top banging moments from Week 16. Ezekiel Elliott's hurdle and touchdown. Lamar Jackson's MVP moment. Bryce Young and Amari Cooper going off against the Texans. Hey, Joel, what you think?
I mean, honestly, like, hands down, you know, it's got to be Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, you know, you couldn't have picked a better headline than that for number 1 because, I mean, you know, when he was in Dallas, you know, he was showing flashes of greatness, you know, here and there.
Exactly.
You know, then y'all traded him. You know, no, I think y'all let him go. Yeah, you guys let him go. Y'all didn't want to pay him that money. I bet you thinking back now, like, damn.
I'm saying, looking like Randy Moss.
He's like explosive right now. You know, like basically, he just went over there and became a monster. You know, everything is gelling with that team. The chemistry is good. The confidence is there. So he's killing it.
Thank you for your input on my list, bro.
Yeah, man.
See, I got a pretty good list. Damn good list.
Oh yeah.
All right, we gonna switch over to basketball. The NBA on Christmas Day. It was good for us, you know.
Yeah.
My Mavs won. My Dallas Mavs won. Your Miami Heat won.
He took that.
Yeah. Let's start with the Miami Heat because they played before the Mavs. Me and my cousins, we were paying attention to the end of that game, and the Miami Heat beat the 76ers 119-113. Bam Adebayo had 26 points. Tyler Hero had 22 points, and rookie Jaime Jaquez Jr. had 31 points. What'd you think about that, especially the rookie?
Man, that rookie is like, you know, he just came out of nowhere. I don't think anybody expected for him to go ahead and be dropping points like that, balling out of control.
I was like, who this nigga? But,
I mean, 31 for a rookie.
Yeah.
You know, I just hope that he can be consistent with that, you know, because I feel like Miami's, you know, my team, but definitely disappointed in how they've been playing this year, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Especially from the year they had last year, you know, to this year, it's like, you know.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm hoping that black cloud of that loss doesn't, you know, chase them into the playoffs.
Yeah, y'all need to get back to the finals.
Yeah, man.
Obviously, most notably, what's his name? Joel Embiid. He didn't play. Because I was wondering where he was, but, you know, I didn't see him.
Yeah, but that's what bothered me about that win is that, you know, you don't really get the complete, you know, Philadelphia experience, you know, the 76ers experience without that.
Exactly.
You know, that big man, you know.
Because he was looking he's looking like an MVP front runner right now.
Yeah.
And then the Mavs beat the Suns 128-114 right after their game ended. Luka Doncic. Oh my gosh. 50 burger. He was eating all night. 50 points, making it the third NBA player in NBA history to have a 50-plus point performance on Christmas Day. He had 15 assists, and on the same night, I think in about the first or second quarter, he hit 10,000 career points. So Luka Doncic is doing special stuff, man. What'd you think of that performance right there?
I mean, you know, you gotta love it if you're a Mavs fan, you know, which I'm not, but I mean, I respect the Mavs. I followed them, you know, heavily, studied them.
Yeah.
You know, definitely gamble with them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I remember, you know, some of my fondest gambling moments winning with the Mavs, like when Dennis Smith, you know, was still there and he was balling and man, but I mean, you know, I'm completely shocked, you know, and I'm not trying to, don't take that as a knock.
What is shocking you?
I mean, the 50 ball, I mean, come on, like on Phoenix, like that was
without
just
Kyrie
disrespectful,
helping?
you know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. And you know what, like.
On his son, too, on Devin Booker.
That's what I'm saying, like, you know, because, like, I'm not a Booker fan, I'm not a Suns fan, but I enjoy watching him play.
Yeah.
You know, so, for him to do that on, you know. Yeah. That was disrespectful, man. That would have left a foul taste.
On KD head, on Devin Booker head. Yup. Let's go. So that was a nice present that Luka gave us, and a nice presents that we got from our NBA teams on Christmas Day. So glad you enjoyed your Christmas, and glad that we got to enjoy our Christmas with and end it well with the Heat winning and then the Mavs winning. Thank y'all for watching this episode of the Banganator Podcast. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on the Banganator Podcast Instagram and Banganator Pod _4 on the Twitter X. Joel.
Been love, man. Definitely appreciate you inviting me up here, you know, kicking it with you. You know, it was like just a couple of bros hanging out.
Yeah.
Definitely would love for you to have me back, man.
Hey, no problem, bro. No problem. Hey, thank you for coming on to my podcast. Yeah. You know, it's always a pleasure having guests on that supporters of other teams too, you know, get a different vantage point. But You know, me and you been you know, buddies for a while now, so I'm glad that you were finally able to come on.
But yeah, I appreciate you, man, and you know, love what you're doing, bro.
Hey, appreciate
you know,
it.
Definitely keep it up.
Yeah.
You know, even though you're a Cowboys fan, I won't hold that against you.
Yeah.
But you know, I mess with you, man. You good people.
For sure.
So
appreciate that, man. Again, thank y'all for watching. And Cowboys versus Lions. Hey, come on, Cowboys, let's get that dub. And good luck to y'all Miami Dolphins against the Ravens. But let's go, Cowboys. Let's get this dub in Week 17. Come on, let's get back on track. How about them Cowboys?
The Banganator podcast is brought to you by Esley Banga, diehard fan of the Dallas Cowboys since 1997. How about them Cowboys?